Hello and thank you for buying an Allett Sandringham 14E or Classic 12E cylinder mower. The purpose of this video is to get you prepared and ready to receive your mower and set up for mowing safely. When your mower arrives, please, before accepting delivery, make sure that there is no obvious damage to the outside of the carton. If there is, please open the box and just check inside for no obvious damage. Please do not accept for your delivery if you are not 100% happy with the product. When you are coming to remove the item from the box, you may need assistance. The mower itself is 28 kilograms, including the grassbox. Most of the packaging is cardboard, which is all easily recyclable at your local centres. We also use a low-density polyethylene, which comes with the mower, and we use that for added protection. It's very useful, so if you can reuse that around the household, please do, but it is also recyclable at your local centres as well. But please retain all packaging for at least 14 days. So if the worst does happen and something is wrong with a product or you're not 100% happy, you can send that back to us within the box. So let's see what's in the box. This video is quite long and there are several sections to it. We have indexed the description below with times for the different sections just to make it easier for you when you refer back to this at a later date. So inside the box you'll have your Sandringham 14E mower or Classic 12E mower. You'll have a grass box and also the grass box cradle. You'll also find an information pack, and within that you will get a manual for the machine. You'll get a warranty registration card, a quick start guide, and also an information brochure just on the lawn scarifier. You will also find a 5mm Allen key, and if you have the Sandringham 14E mower you will also be supplied with an auxiliary wheel kit. This is an optional kit as well if you have the Classic 12E Plus. So on the quick start guide you will also find a QR code, and if you scan that code with your camera on your phone, then you'll be able to see this video and you'll be able to watch that back and refer to it at a later date. Also with the warranty card, you can also go to our website and register the product. There is a decal on the rear of the mower, and that will highlight the product code and also your serial number as well, which you'll need to refer to for that registration. So the first thing we're going to do is to set the handlebars into the correct mowing position. So we need to fold the handlebars over. Note that there are protective sleevings on the bottom of the handlebars. This is just to prevent any damage being done to the paintwork when these are being folded over. So we want to just tighten the plastic wing nut until we've clamped the handlebars securely. So now we've folded the handlebars over, make sure also that the cables are not caught in the handlebars, causing any damage or any obstruction. You'll also note that there are two handlebar cable tidies on the right hand side. These are for the EU or the UK version, so when your cable is not in use you can wrap it around those handles just to keep that tied in secure when it's in storage. You'll also notice that the actual cables themselves are quite unneat and untidy. These can catch on hedges or any walls while you are cutting, so it's important that these are kept secure. So in the pack you would have found 3 cable clips, and basically there's no right or wrong way to fit these. You just want to basically secure the cable just to keep it nice and tidy and quite close to the actual handlebars themselves, just so they don't get caught and cause any damage. You'll also notice where the actual cables go into the machine. You want to make sure that the cable is sitting nice and neatly into the grommet rather than being pulled out or twisted or sat on the outside of the grommet as well. You want to make sure that is sat nice and neatly inside. That will then give you the correct tension onto the drive belt system. So now you've got the cables all correctly laid out, What you want to just double check as well is that when you push the mower along, that the actual roller is freewheeling, and that way you know that the cables are routed and the tension is correctly set. Also with the handlebars, there is 2 options for the height adjustment. The machines will be sent out with the bar fixed in the lower position. So if you do want another setting, depending on height and comfort for the user, there is another option there. So you just want to unscrew the wing nut, release the bar, and then just locate that in the other old setting. Before we start to mow, we need to ensure that we are on the correct height of cut setting. You'll notice on the side of the machine there is the height of cut dial, and to adjust we need to take the weight off the front roller, and then while pushing in on the dial we can then turn it to a different height of cut number. So we have 6 settings, so S is 6mm, 1 is 9mm, 2 is 13mm, 3 is 18mm, 4 is 25mm, and then 5 is 32mm, which is the highest setting. So there is a S option, which is for the optional scarifying cartridge. Remember, only ever cut a maximum of 1/3 off the height of cut at any one time. So if you've got 30mm height of grass, you only want to be cutting that down to 20mm. And there's nothing like regular mowing or frequent mowing with small amounts of grass clippings to achieve a really wonderful lawn and strong stripes. One of the great features of the Sandringham mower over the Classic 12E is the fixed comb, which sits just behind the front roller. So this is adjustable, and you can raise and lower that. You will need a 13mm or 1/2 inch spanner to adjust the fixing each side, just to raise and lower that depending on what height of cut you are at. The mower is supplied with the rake at the highest setting, and I would advise that you just keep it at that setting just until you become accustomed with the mower. You can then experiment after you're familiar with the machine, just to improve your grass stripes and also get some finer results. So to adjust the rake, we want to slacken the fixings on each side. We can then raise and lower the rake depending on what height of cut we're at. We recommend just lowering the rake prongs just below the actual height of cut. That way we'll be combing any lateral growth and standing that up before it goes through the cylinder. We don't recommend setting it too low, because obviously we'll be dragging on the surface of the ground then, and that will also be slipping the belts as well when you are driving or pushing the machine. So before you start mowing, it's always a good idea just to check that the cutting cylinder and the bottom blade are adjusted correctly. These are assembled on the production line, but with the mower during transport, there is the risk that this can be affected during transport. So the way we check this is to use a piece of standard paper, just tear that into an inch width strip. Best to wear gloves as well if you are unfamiliar with the machine, and these edges can be sharp. So basically what we're after is the cylinder and bottom blade act as a pair of scissors, and it's that scissor cut action that we are looking for. So we basically just want the cylinder just to lightly brush over the bottom blade while cutting paper nice and cleanly. And want to check that all the way along. So we're just not quite cutting on that side. So there's 2 adjusters on each side of the machine, and just using a flat screwdriver, just 1 click each side. That will basically lower the cylinder. That way we get a nice clean cut all the way along, but the cylinder is nice and free to rotate. Often when you receive your new mower, you're in a situation where your grass is quite long, and I don't think that's unusual. And a cylinder mower is not actually great at mowing really long grass. What it does best is mow short grass even shorter. One of the reasons it doesn't like long grass is basically because of the front roller. If you're rolling long grass, basically it doesn't have time to stand back up before it meets the cylinder, so it's getting missed. So what we have supplied with the Sandringham, and we also have an option for the Classic 12E mower as well, is the auxiliary wheel kit. So you'll get 2 auxiliary wheels and 2 stub axles. And basically what that will do is replace the front roller, and that will remove the roller from basically rolling the grass. So these are ideal for the start of the season when your grass is quite long, or if you are planning on going on holiday, so you're not actually cutting 2 or 3 times a week. And that way you can bring in the auxiliary wheel kit, get your grass down to a nice height, and then you can bring back in the front roller, which will then give you the fine stripe that you're after. So the next job, we're going to fit the grassbox cradle. Note there are 2 pins on each leg of the cradle, and they locate into 2 holes just on the actual cartridge itself. So what we want to do is locate 1 pin into the hole, and then just pinch together the bars, and then locate the other one into position. There are 2 positions on here as well, so we've got the upright position for storage, and then the lower position for mowing. With the grassbox itself, there are mouldings which locate onto the cradle, and then a recess at the bottom there. So we locate that recess over into the moulding, and then sit the bar then through the actual grassbox position there. There is a right and wrong way to fit the grassbox. So you can sit the actual box on top of the bar at the rear there, and then that will give you an incorrect fill, and also the box won't be secure. So always make sure that the bar is located in the moulding itself, and then it's sat comfortably on the bar in the recess on the grassbox moulding. Having set the height of cut, we're now ready to start mowing. So we'll coil the electric cable and we'll plug into a suitable power source. Although our mowers are double insulated for safety, it's always good practice to use a circuit breaker and work away from the power source when mowing. So to operate the mower, it's advisable to start on a slower running speed. So we have got the adjuster on the Sandringham mower. So to start the cylinder, we press the red button and then we bring in the red lever. That will start the cylinder. And to start the forward drive, which the Sandringham is self-propelled, we basically just bring in the bail bar, and that will bring in our powered drive. If we are coming to an obstacle and you want to basically push the mower, just let go of the drive propulsion bail bar, and then we can basically just push the mower freely. So when you finish your mowing and you're putting the machine away, it is recommended that you clean down the machine with just a light brush or even a leaf blower, and just to remove all the debris from the machine. Spraying it down with high pressure water is not really recommended, because you're actually forcing high pressured water into places it really shouldn't go. This is an electric machine, and of course water and electric just do not mix. So another tip as well is to lightly brush the exposed metal parts of the cylinder just with a light oil or a WD-40, just to prevent rusting or these edges from corroding while they are in storage. What you can also do for storage is to fold the handlebars over. So just release the plastic wing nut, fold the handlebars over, and the grass box will sit neatly just on top of the mower, so it's nice and compact for storage. To keep your mower performing well, and more importantly your lawn cut really cleanly, we need to keep these mower blades really sharp. We recommend that you have the blades sharpened annually at your local Allett service centre, who has the facility to be able to grind these cylinders and the bottom blade. You can remove the cartridge for transport, and that does make it much easier for transporting the whole mower to your service centre. But your mower should be going in for a specialist service anyway each winter. As an in-season alternative, when you haven't got time to take the whole mower into a service centre to get sharpened, you can use a process called backlapping. So the cylinder can be rotated in reverse, and then using a backlapping paste, and this will help put a sharp edge back onto your mower blades. And if you look at the screen now, there is a link which will take you to a video just to help you with this process. Now let's just talk about safety. So these blades are very sharp by definition. Even when they're not rotating quickly, you can still cut yourself. So please wear gloves when you are working in the blade area. And also when you are cutting, just please make sure that any bystanders, especially children, are at least 2 meters away from the mower. With the Sandringham and the Classic 12E Plus being cabled, please be aware that this is also a trip hazard, so just be careful when dragging the cable around the garden. We have a lot of resources to help you achieve the great lawn that you want, with over 150 videos on our YouTube channel. Please find us on social media where we have a great community of Allett users. We really hope this video has helped you prepare for the setup of your new mower and that you have many years of trouble-free mowing. All you need to do now is go and make your neighbours jealous.